All right. Hey, thank everybody for watching, tuning in for the Word Up with Tinu. I didn't know I was saying that. Well, today, it's just me and Wanda today. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do sports today.
Yay!
Roz is out. She's collecting an award for the organization she's with. And then Jay is out as well. And so it's me and Wanda. And when I saw her, I said, before I saw her, to be honest, I said, we can just go ahead and just hit on sports. Because there's so much going on in the sports world till you got something to talk about. So we're going to kick it off by, I don't even know which one I want to kick off with. Okay, let me go with the less, if you want to say drama or whatever it is. A girl in Russia, Gardner.
Brittany
Gardner.
Yeah.
My opinion, I want to get yours as well. I'm sad that she's there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, you should have knew the laws in that country. You've been playing there for some time, you would think, or the people you hang with will also educate you with the laws that goes on in Russia. To me, when you go to other countries, it's very wise to learn their laws.
Yeah. I agree with you 100% in that situation because it's one of those things like what really happened, what's really going on. And like you say, Brittany, she definitely knows. She should know the law. I think she knows better. I just think she's got caught. Fortunately, you're in another country where their laws are totally different than our laws. She probably been out of jail by now. She was here, but theirs a little different. And so now they're trying to get all the help that she can to try to get her out of there, but it's just quite sad, to see it all, play out. So, but I agree with you 100%. It's one of those things like wrong is wrong and right is right, right?
Right.
It's pretty much you got to go there with that first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did she actually do what they say she did? That's first thing. If she did, then there's punishment comes with that.
Basically, what they said that when she went to check out to go on a plane, they check your things,
right?
And they saw she had the oil for vaping, and the type of oil she had was illegal. But see, that's why I said to me, I heard a young lady on D.L. Hughley show say the same thing. She said, you should have knew what was required, or at least learn and ask.
Well, and that's how much of that. Anytime you flying, we already know, like, whatever you got going on, don't even try to push that through. Yeah, just get that on the side.
I don't care if it's a bottle of lotion.
Right.
Just get rid of it.
I get rid of it. I'm not going to try to even push that through. So it's one of those things that, is this something that she just felt like she had to take with her, or she couldn't get that once she made her destination on the other side and purchase that? But at the end of the day, like I say, it's just a sad situation. Like I say, feel bad for her because I can feel bad for her, but at the same time that, hey, you got
I'm with you. I'm on the 50-50.
Yeah, it's a 50-50.
I'm on the fence.
Not there to judge her, but at the same time, it is what it is.
You're in another country. Their laws are not like America.
We should have the laws like they have too. I always say that. I'm like, hey, they can have stiff, these stiff penalty laws. Like we can't go over their country and do certain things. I get it, but I think U.S. U.S. needs to do the same thing.
Exactly.
That's why it's so easy for people to come here and do what they want to do.
Yeah, I vouch on one thing because I noticed the majority of the WNBA players, when their season's over, they go overseas to continue playing to make money. So if the players probably were getting paid more over here, they wouldn't have to go over there.
Exactly.
I think it's soccer that just equalize the pay.
But what I understand is like we go over there and recruit NBA players, and they come over here and make bukus money, right? Mm-hmm. But we go over there, we don't make the money that they're making. So it's like I don't understand that. But like you said, with the women, it's a little different.
I didn't know they fly on commercial airlines when they're in basketball season. Mm-hmm. They don't have private jets.
Yeah.
Like the NBA players,
like the
NFL players.
Well, see, with the women, it's a little different. There, because their salary is even like just a like at 30,000. They try to get like, well, it depends on where you at in the rank, unless you just that top player. Then that top player,
Cheryl Scoops.
Yeah, unless you make like what 1 point or 3, million. That's still not a whole lot with the NBA. Was a lot, somebody like me, but not to equally, what the NBA players make. But that's why they try to get endorsements. So this year with the women, which is so interesting, is that they cut a lot of players.
You said they cut?
Yes, they got rid of a lot of players, a lot of their top players, especially like what's her name, T. Cooper. People were shocked that she ain't got cut. I was like, and I love T. Cooper. I think she's,
Now, what do you mean by cut? Cut from the team?
Release. They released. That's just
really.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
They released them from the team, and so it kind of shocked a lot of people. So
how many players they have on the team?
I'm not for sure like what the roster hold for each one of them, but they limited, and just cut back and got rid of a lot of players that people were shocked, like a lot of your first round picks. They released them, so it's hard for a young lady to get in the NBA.
So now it's bad enough they can get the pay, but it's hard to get in.
Yeah, it's hard to get in there. So if you're in there and you still playing as of this year, you're doing this. It's not as hard. It's hard. It's not as easy as people think it is to get in the WNBA now.
I want to thank Brittany and Miss Christy. Yeah, Christy. Thank y'all for tuning in. One more thing before we get off the WNBA. Now, what I noticed, this is center. I see her on Instagram. Tall girl. She plays for the Sparks.
Who you talking about? Candace? Not her.
Not Candace Parker, because she's with another team now. They traded her.
Yeah, they did.
This young lady, she's like about 6'9", 10, 11, center for the Sparks, and she's a model as well. So,
I know who you're talking about now. I can't think of her name.
And I haven't got a chance to see her play.
She's good though.
But that's what I saw her highlights. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, because when I watched some of the games in WNBA and women's college, this is just me. It seems like they play harder than the guys. Most guys.
So now in college or
basketball.
Yeah.
And WNBA, I look how they're hustle, they're aggressive.
Yeah, they're not like that too much. They're not like that as before it's like people usually were watching, but these girls can flat out shoot. They hooping.
I think the young lady, last name is Bird. She's retiring this year.
Oh yeah, Sue Bird.
Sue Bird.
Yeah.
And I got a chance to see some of her highlights. I'm like, dang, she got a form.
She's really good. I actually went to see. I actually went to one of the games here. I went. Very entertaining. I thought it was.
What I heard.
It was great to watch. And why I'm like, hey, that's so and so. Because I follow these girls in college more than the women in the. I really don't. When they go professional, I just keep up with certain players.
You were the opposite.
Yeah, so you actually watch it. And so me, I like watching them before they get to that stage. It's nothing for the love of college sports. I tell people
especially on March Madness.
Oh my God. I love college. I just love college sports.
But see, for me, for March Madness, before March Madness, it's like you got 500,000 schools. So I'm like, I can't keep up with all of them. So I'm gonna wait till March when we get down to the 64.
Try to do those
so when the 64s are, I can focus now.
This year was crazy because a lot of people thought certain people, certain teams, even I did not make it. Like, come on, what's going on? But
because even I call them old head schools that always dominated. They're not dominating like they used to because other schools now are coming up.
Yeah. Because the recruiting is different. Before, like special Kentucky used to be like a one-hit wonder for Coach Calipari for the guys, where he'll get a guy come on, recruit a kid, they come on, they go on to the NBA.
Right.
So now these kids, instead of them going to Kentucky like they used to, they're going to other schools now, and that just makes that much more competitive, which is good. Now they got that, transfer portal. That's
Yeah, I heard
killing
about that.
a lot of this,
Mhm.
colleges.
Is that the
especially
part
football.
where they can transfer to any school while they're in
Any
the school?
school.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. It used to be they couldn't do that.
Yeah, now you can do it.
Okay,
Like, hey, but I don't like wasting, I'm going over here. So that's basically what they're doing.
Gotcha. Now, college, we're getting close. When the summertime comes, the heat is hitting hard. I was telling Roz the other day, I said, man, I get excited when I just see September about to come up. Because she said, yeah, but it's still hot. I said, yeah, but it's the thought that after September, it's about to cool down.
Yeah.
But football season get ready to come up. So I'm gonna stick with basketball a little bit with you because you touched on something we came in, so I want to go ahead and hit
Okay.
it. But first thing first, before we go into that particular topic, did you watch the draft, NBA draft?
I did. I didn't watch it entirely, but I did watch it.
Okay. I saw some guys, and some of the face. I get a kick out of the draft for this reason: the face expressions when they get called.
When they get called.
One dude, I think he had the ultimate face expression of the year. When they called, I forgot what team it was. When he got selected, he reeled back and went,
Ooh, what a relief.
yeah, that was
Hear
like,
his
thank you,
name.
Lord.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
And I don't know, there was one specific guy that I was looking for and praying for to get drafted. And that was the guy from Longhorns who I think he had lupus or something like that.
Mhm.
And I was trying to see if he got drafted.
Mhm.
But then I found out on the news, really not too many Texas players
Get
got
drafted.
drafted.
That is true.
And they said this is the first year this has ever happened.
Yeah, I mean, they even had some from Auburn. I'm like, I ain't think nobody since Charles Barkley got,
Yeah,
so it's like,
that's who's still around?
yeah, so I was, and actually the kid from Auburn ended up going to Memphis, to the Grizzlies.
Okay.
So I was surprised at that. Actually, it was a surprise to them because not to the Grizzlies, but the people that was doing the commentating, they was really shocked that they had picked up this kid.
And I saw Spike Lee was tremendously hurt from the Knicks, who they picked.
It don't matter. They can pick the best one, and I'm still hurt for the Knicks. It's just I don't know.
It's something about
that team.
It's something about
They
that
might like
organization
Dallas.
now. It's just like, no, you didn't just say that.
I'm talking about the
Oh,
Cowboys.
no, what are you talking about? Now look, nobody here to turn off these cameras.
I love that.
What happened to
The
Wanda?
organization, like they do things like,
At least we winning better than what the Knicks are doing.
maybe right.
See?
You just threw me on the bus quickly. You're right.
No, that was smooth like you did.
I like that.
Dallas. And you think I'll come back? I'm in the Cowboy. I know what you're talking about. You're not funny.
Not married.
Yeah.
The Cowboys. Man, hey, nothing but love for the Cowboys. I love Cowboys.
You see what I'm getting ready to do with on this show today? See, boy, I tell you. But the Knicks, it's something about that organization now that can't click. It reminded me of Cleveland Browns, of the Browns.
You know what they really are when you think
They're
about
the
it.
Browns of the NBA,
Oh,
and Spike Lee was very upset. Stephen A. Smith was upset.
really?
Even when they picked the person, I was like,
Who did they pick? I
somebody from overseas.
But that's the point. That's what I'm talking about. They getting these kids from overseas and they bringing them over here, and it's driving me nuts because I just feel like it's a lot of talent right here. So
Exactly.
we really got to recruit over there because they're not recruiting us over there
Mhm.
unless we want, trying to want to live out that road. But I'm just like, come on, and that's what they do.
So the NBA is reminding me of the NFL because NBA goes to overseas
Mhm.
and NFL don't go to black colleges.
Right. So it's like, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And I'm like you, when they draft these guys from overseas NBA, some of these guys, it's a very low percentage become superstars.
Mhm.
Majority of them can't hang with the speed and the aggressiveness of the NBA.
Mhm.
So you got Luka who can hang, Dirk,
Yeah.
Pete, I forgot his name, he was with Sacramento, Steve Nash. So
And I love Dirk. I thought he was awesome, but it's like they trying to mimic him, trying to. Well, no, because San Antonio used to have a lot of guys. They were good. So I take that back. It's not just Dallas, it's other teams too. So you have some that are great role models, and maybe that's what they're trying to bring some of that role model over here. But at the same time, on the roster, and they really be, they be good, But I just feel like why we don't get that same treatment if they wanted to.
But we still have a lot of talent here. But
So much talent.
There's a reason why you see in the March Madness, because you get to see the talent that are coming up through the colleges and March Madness.
And if you notice with the draft this year, they picked a lot of foreigners. Did you notice that? I'm looking at names like, wait a minute. Even
Can't
if they
pronounce
look,
them.
I'm like, wait a minute, you know. So
And that's what Spike Lee was very upset about, because he was like, who the heck is this guy? Who is this? Because it's like almost they trying to pattern after Dallas, because Dallas is one of the teams that really goes after Europeans.
yeah.
Just Sacramento used to be one. And so, in that being said, I don't know what's going on with Irving.
Kyrie, yeah. That's why I was asking you, like, so what's going on? You know, echo my mom. You mean to tell me you ain't never? I was like, Mom, I've been so busy with look, probably say on TikTok, but I've been so busy with work and all.
Oh, you don't bring that part up.
Okay. I had to make it sound.
She's watching is TikTok. But anyway, but you know the thing that Kevin Durant got his contract with the Nets.
So he's gonna be there for a minute.
I'm gonna get to him in a minute.
Okay.
Something came up.
Okay.
But Irving wants either the same type of contract or a little more.
Oh.
But the thing is, how can you ask for that when you haven't played a whole season?
Yeah. You know, he has faith. His little faith there for a minute.
With the
COVID.
Yeah.
And I respected that. You want people to respect, like, look, I'm
That's
not
his
going to
choice.
dislike a person with a choice. And I'm not going to bash him because he has a choice. I just think people, you know, just because, hey, this is what you believe, this is what society tell you, then whatever it is, you respect it. But respect, that is his choice. Don't throw him under the bus. That's just how I felt. He still got a job to do. Now, personally, I wish we could do that on our job and still get paid.
Do it in the New York Knicks.
But since we can't do, that's why I say I don't worry about somebody that don't pay my bills. So it's like, hey, that was his choice. But like you said, he didn't play. And then the whole thing was just a hot mess because he sat out, and I got to give him credit because he did and stuck to his word. But it's funny how they didn't stick to their word and brought him over because you want to win.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
It was all about, you know, them at this point. We'll bring him back. Now he get to play. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, so now he can play everyone now. So it's all of a sudden.
Yeah. And you know, the other thing too, and like we said, he listed teams that if they don't agree, the teams he would like to go to. And I'm still surprised the Lakers was on that list.
I'm like, why? Yeah, why would you know? I thought that was the person you didn't want to.
Because you made the big hoopla, you didn't want to play with LeBron
James
in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then when y'all did play, y'all won the championship.
Right.
Then you went to Boston, then Jersey. Now you got Lakers on that list again to be.
There's something going on there. I just think that either he done had a chit chat with LeBron, you know, because the Lakers heard it any kind of time they can get right back.
They called me yesterday.
Me too.
They called you too.
They called me, and I declined.
I'm sitting for the check. I don't care. I can be the 12th man. No, I got a check. And I'm getting them free hotel rooms.
They give you a free hotel.
Then after you finish with me, then I'll go ahead and depart.
But yeah, they need. I can't wait to see how the Lakers.
How
they hurt bad because it's like, you know, you thought you had. Well, I don't know how they thought that they had a team this past year with the players that they had, you know. So
Anthony Davis could have stayed healthy.
He can't, and he's really good. Just can't stay healthy.
I can understand why Westbrook was just playing terrible when he was with other teams playing awesome, you know, and aggressive.
That chemistry, nothing just went clicking. And then too, you got to understand, you know, Westbrook wasn't there. Hey, this is my way to have it at first, and then he changed it. But then people start really seeing him having a soft heart for him because he just wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me be like, oh, he just want to play. Leave him alone.
He can throw it on.
Yeah, it was like, oh, he just want to play. Before I was like, Westbrook is getting on my nerves.
Let me tell y'all.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, let's go back to.
For the time period I've known Wanda, you don't hear her say the "aw" that much.
Right. For me to say that, I had a little moment.
That didn't even sound right, to be honest. Oh,
He did, because I went, oh, okay.
You getting soft on it? Hold on, stay strong. Stay strong on
somebody didn't like him in play, so you know, I just think that Lakers just probably want a good fit for him.
So they have a new coach, And from what I'm hearing, it's a pretty good coach.
That's what I hear. I hear some good
I was
things about it.
really wanting Mark Jackson to get it.
Mark Jackson, anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about their new coach, other than I have heard a lot of good things about him. So all I can do is sit back and
Yeah,
wait.
there's not a lot of good things about Mark Jackson, but the thing I gave him credit for, he's the one that molded that Golden State
Golden
team.
State, before Kirk actually just went in there and just sat there because the team was already,
Same thing.
and
With,
they still there.
Gruden did it with Dungeon's team. Like
And you know that.
and Switzer did it with Johnson's team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like they inherit a good team,
Mhm.
and Kerr really did inherit. Actually, believe it or not, this is my first time, being honest, seeing Kerr actually like coach.
Now I'm gonna give him a part of what you said, what he inherited, but I'm gonna give him this credit. For him to inherit a team and keep it
Yeah.
together for 10
He did
years,
a great job.
that says a lot.
It says a lot to me for a lot of the NBA organization period, because it reminds me of Chicago when Jordan was there. Love my Michael Jordan.
You what?
I love Michael
Oh
Jordan.
yeah, without it.
However, it showed
that
even though he was a star, but he was like a big star when he started Chicago. But they stayed together and put pieces there and made a team. And when they made their team, they stayed. They went like all over here, over here.
Right.
They just put a puzzle together and kept it. What I like about San Antonio was like that.
Mhm.
They were really good by keeping a team together. Under Pops,
Mm-hmm.
the coach.
Yeah.
And then also with Golden State, it's like that model team. And it's like it shows, these organizations like, look, they didn't go out, especially now, when Durant, when Durant came, they just accepted. When
Mhm.
Durant left, it was no big deal. You understand what I'm saying? No shame.
It was no change.
So the team still stayed together.
Mhm.
And that's what clicks, the chemistry clicks. And to me, it's like, that's what you want to see. People that not huge superstars, even though
Mhm.
Curry is of course, has that name, and Draymond Green, you got a couple, but still they not like, oh, you're LeBron James or, whatever. But to me, I just think all of them, like, if you just get your team, make it work.
And
Stop
Draymond,
getting all these superstars on your
I heard
team.
Draymond on an interview stated that they were on the plane, and him, Steph, and Clay, they always sit together on the plane.
Mhm.
And then one of the guys was like, y'all still sitting together? He said, man, we have been together for 10 years.
Yeah.
He said, we have gelled together. He said, but then he said, you can't just leave just us three. You got to look at, what's that guy's name? He came from Philadelphia and he plays with him. Eagle Eye.
Oh yeah, Eagle, what's his name? Iguodala, whatever that, but I know who you're talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like him too. He's
Yeah, him.
Mhm.
And then the thing that I like about Golden State is, like you said, their chemistry for 10 years is solid. And it reminds you of the San Antonios, even the
Yeah.
Lakers with Magic.
Oh yeah, back then
Yeah,
they
in
stayed
Boston,
together.
yeah.
In Boston,
Yeah.
they stayed together. And actually, let me kind of rephrase that. The teams back during our era growing up, they stayed together.
They were
With
loyal.
that Chicago
They
thing,
were
it was
loyal,
a Chicago, Detroit. Everybody stayed. You didn't see a lot of team hopping. I didn't see that until LeBron them when he went to. I mean, of course, it was before LeBron because you had Shaquille O'Neal went to the Lakers,
Mhm.
from the Magic. But still, when LeBron left with Cleveland, they made it a trio. When they got him, Bosh, and what's the name?
Wade.
Wade.
Mhm.
And then after that, LeBron learned that, hey, I can do this and take back to Cleveland, try to find me some other superstar. And then it just kind of trickled on
Exactly.
around there. But now people not doing that anymore like they were. Like, hey, you get about 2 stars, you it.
Yeah.
But Golden State
They stayed the same.
they stayed the same.
And see, that's why-
Golden.
And that's why I added when KD joined Golden State, I was like, yeah, KD he's a good player.
Yeah, I already know he was gonna be a great
I never
addition,
take it
but it
from
wasn't
him.
like it was no big deal whether he there or not.
It wasn't like they desperately needed him
him, right?
because they already got a championship.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when he left,
It
they
was no
still
big deal.
maintained, even though they had their injuries.
Yeah.
But what I loved about this win this year, the
Was
championship,
special. Yeah.
their core guys have been with them just like you said, like San Antonio, you
Yeah.
had David Robinson, the Tim Duncans.
It was just
Ginobili.
special, and nothing against Boston. It's so funny when people thought Boston had a chance. I said, we got to understand, Boston was still kind of hot from playing their other opponents. Why Golden State had a little rest there. So they were a little rusty by the time they had their first game, but it was still a wake-up call, like, okay, y'all got to get in there and really play.
But you know, that Boston team, to be honest with you, they've been together for a little bit too. So it's not like like you said, team hopping.
Yeah.
But my thing is, with Boston, I guess I'm going back in the day. I just wouldn't root for Boston because when I was with the Lakers with Magic and them, I was against Boston.
And see, I love the Boston. Larry Bird, Parrish, and McHale. You can, man, what? I love them. I love.
You said something about teams today. They got the big three, but the teams back then in the 90s and late 70s, they didn't just have the big three. They had a squad.
They had a squad.
Because if you look at Boston, their starting five, they had a bench.
They had a
Milwaukee,
they were good.
Milwaukee had a bench. Lakers.
They all were good. You know, every last one of those NBA teams was really good. I can honestly say.
And really, you could say they had an all-star.
You know, they were. You know, they had some decent. I'm just saying, back then they really had
Pistons, Supersonics, and you know Seattle's getting an NBA team again.
Oh, really? Oh, no.
They're getting ready to get two teams, one in Seattle and one in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I pray that we can get that name back, Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah.
You know, because
Supersonics.
There she goes. She's going to the rap world.
Supersonics.
She getting ready to do TikTok up in here. But you know, and to be honest, when I look at the teams in the past, to talk about today, where they're trying to get this all-star team. If you look at the teams in the past, they had an all-star team back then.
Yeah.
You know, we had Elvin Hayes and Wes Unseld, Gus Thomas, I know the Gus, I'm sorry. But then you look at Philadelphia, Julius, Malone, Lloyd Freed, and all of them. To me, today's players are just, they're hopping like to try to find a team they can get a championship with. Not to build a team and stay with a team. When you look at LeBron, you look at Harden. Harden was a bust for Philadelphia.
We're not going to
No, you know he was a bust.
I'm like, come on. This was a hot mess.
I really feel Harden went down when he left Houston.
He did. He should have stayed at Houston because I felt like literally.
Hey, Nancy Love. I'm sorry, I was just getting a shout out.
Oh, okay. I will say this, when I was really shocked when Houston got him in the first place and paid him all that money. Every time I got it was a 6-man on, you know, with the Oklahoma.
Okay, so
you know, but I always knew he was a good player, but I never saw him like deep, you know, the main player. So I thought, damn, hey, that's awesome. I would have left too. You gave me all this money. So I just felt like, where was the loyalty there at the end? But I don't know because I don't know what goes on behind that organization.
If KD, Westbrook, him, Iguodala, they would have stayed with OKC.
They could have went really
I think
far.
they could have went far.
But see, at that time, I mean, you had a lot of, you got your and that's what messed up that team was the ego and you know, to me. But you're right, but they could have went far.
I started seeing them gel after the Mavericks got their championship because that next year they gave Mavs a hard time. And I think they took them out. And that's when you started seeing OKC started to gel as one of those teams. But then as soon as they got to the brink of it,
then they lost. That's when they all started issues there.
Because if they definitely would have stayed.
And Westbrook is going down because now he's had to go on team to team poor thing. You know, after he left there, which I was surprised when he left Oklahoma, because, you know, he was so loyal to them as well. But I understand, you know, that his business.
So much he could do too.
Yeah, so when he moved around, then the Lakers just wasn't a good resume for him, you know, because unfortunately, people, when they point fingers, they was pointing at him. But he was pretty bad. You know, there was some times I'm like, what are we doing? You know, so.
And then Harden is a ball hog. So you got Harden and KD on the same team.
Right.
Both want the ball.
Yes.
And you got Irving coming in. He wants the ball.
Right.
And you know, the thing I look at, when you look at Westbrook and Harden, my old cliche saying, once you start bouncing around team to team, your value goes down.
It goes down. And that's basically what has happened. It's going
Take
down.
somebody like Jim Jackson.
Yeah.
When he left the Mavs, he started bouncing around.
Bouncing
and then
around.
surely, you don't see him
It
anymore.
started going down that way,
Mhm.
so.
So you wonder what happened to Jim Jackson? Well, he got the flow, and, Jamal Mashburn, same thing. And these were good players, So now I'm gonna switch gears. I'm gonna talk about, this is the sport of her heart right here. I know this. This is what I learned by being around here. So I'm hearing the Rangers are like, what, third, second place? They're playing pretty decent
The
baseball.
deeper change, because usually they be like down at the bottom. Yeah.
Right.
So they're a little decent.
One moment I saw them last, and the next I hear they're
Well,
fourth or third.
Yeah, and keep in mind with baseball, it's a tricky sport because there's so many games they got to play.
How many play?
So,
What?
They play about 100 and
Yeah.
maybe 100,
NBA is
48, something like
yeah.
that. But there's a lot of games, so it can go up and down. You just don't know. It's just tricky.
Right.
It's just a tricky sport. But yeah, I keep up with the Raiders. I laugh because I think I give them bad luck because when I look at them, I'm like, oh my God. So when I don't watch, they
Now you see
win.
why the Rangers are not winning.
Yeah, because of me. When I do not watch, they actually literally win. Yeah, so, but I hope they just have a good year like Houston didn't have, but we'll
The
see.
Astros been doing pretty good.
Astros always been good. They're another team that keep their team together too. Baseball, they do pretty good. If they move many bodies,
They
anybody
got caught
can
giving
too.
out signals.
They
That was crazy,
they
right?
were cheating, and I mean they need to own up to it. And I'm like, you still got the same players, but they got rid of the people that was over them, the managers and all them, but they still kept the players. I'm like, I'm confused like that.
Now, since I've been in Texas and I've been watching the Rangers on and off, I've always seen that the key piece for the Rangers always been pitching.
That's what any baseball is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what if you got a good pitcher and you can hold off these guys from hitting, then you're gonna win some games.
Right.
But it all boils down to the pitching. So that's the key to baseball.
Now, I hear the Yankees are hot.
Yankees always hot. Unfortunately. Now I don't know what they do and how they do it, but you just they like your elite team.
Right.
So they go and try to find these elite players and they don't want to, they recruit, these guys.
So who's the elite team in the National League?
Well, that's kind of hard to say.
It's not the Dodgers
Not
like
the
it used to
Dodgers.
be.
And in the Dodgers, they have their little moments, but you're right, it's not the Dodgers. I really don't know. I always, like I said, it's a tricky, you don't know. I always like to really get into, I keep up with who's doing what,
Okay.
but I like to really get to the playoff. I'm just a playoff person. Like, that's when you
the time I
start really
watching.
seeing,
Yeah,
where the
Series
talent,
type,
yeah,
right.
and I'm like, okay, they're going to go far.
So is Toronto your team? Since you got the shirt on?
They've been losing too. Every time I don't even know why I got this shirt. I don't even know why I got this shirt.
It's a blue kind of day.
But my son used to play for the Blue Jays, so I'm gonna always have number love for them. I always loved them.
Is he
But
still playing?
no, he's not playing. He's doing his own business, which I'm
Okay.
so proud of. Actually, what he's doing now is he's doing some coding where he's when people think coding, they think health field coding. So it's not that kind of coding.
Right.
But anyway, to help minor league baseball players because most minor leagues don't get paid that much money. So and then
And if you know, how much do they get
I
paid?
mean, they're but peanuts, pretty much what they get literally.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll pay them, I want to say $1,500 a month. That's really nothing to live on. So now,
Wow.
actually this year they're giving them room and board,
Okay.
which is good because before it was like
And that's
shack up in
It used to be, it's coming out that 1,500.
yeah, coming out
Right.
there 15.
Right.
Before it was, they were shacking up in
Some have
in a
families, don't they?
hotel. Yeah, but they just shack up in a hotel, players and on a bus. So it's like you pay your dues before because once you get to the big league, of course the money is good. But so his goal is so they don't struggle and stay focused, while they're playing because a lot of the guys again they can't handle it.
Because the
And
farm
that's
is
why
pretty,
they don't-
that's the
in the
island is
leagues.
pretty large. A lot of players and very few make it to the majors.
It's baseball is a tough sport
Mhm.
and it's a very elite sport, but it's a tough sport. But I think any young man that want to get into it, to me, I say that's the way to go. You got to worry about getting hurt, but it is. You just got to really pay
So
attention.
that's one of the reasons you think that Murray went to NFL instead for Am I right? The one quarterback from the Arizona? Because he had a
Well,
contract.
now with him, okay, yeah. So a lot of people, to me personally, he went where he can play. Where I think where he's really good at, and that's football.
Okay.
Baseball, I'm like, down the line, I don't know if he would, because you really.
And it had been some time.
Yeah, because I looked at his, his videos. Like, let me check this guy on the baseball scene. I went out there impressed, and I'm like, but by him being who he was, they were putting him. But one thing about baseball, they don't care who you are, they will really release you just like that. So I think, when I look at it now, at first I was like, I would have went baseball. When I look at it now, I think he did the right thing, the right choice.
Yeah, because y'all gotta understand, some of y'all that's on here now. Let me tell you something about Wanda. She's a sports fanatic. She was at our event. I was being introduced to her. While I was being introduced to her, she was looking at scores. And
I had my phone like, I'm looking at everything.
I walked up to her, being introduced to her from her husband, and I said, "So you're the sports fanatic?" She said, I'm looking at scores right now. I was like, yeah. And so it went from that to talking with her, asking her if she would be interested in being part of our team. And to show you how I was energetic and excited about it, we ended up one day, we were texting each other. And we went from talking about being with the team, being on the show, to we literally started talking about sports, going back and forth. I'm at work.
Me too. Like, what you think about this? What you think about that?
We were going back and forth, man. And she gave me a app that I'm on it like crazy.
And it's a great app.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Do you go to the chats and see what people saying?
I haven't been to the chats. You
got to go to the chats. Okay. You're gonna laugh because like when Golden State and Boston was playing, the fans are so passionate about their team. They would get mad. They were so mad with Boston. They was calling them the leprechauns. They get on my nerves. These leprechauns ain't doing. And I just laughed and I laughed. It's the funniest thing. So I had
that app. And I had the other app where I can watch games.
Yes.
And sometimes
when you're away, you know when you can tune in.
If I'm matter of fact, it was during the time this year, Mavs in the playoffs. We were in some store, and I'm going up and down the aisles. I'm watching the game while we shopping because I'm like, Roz is like, "You watching that game?
You watching that game?" See, that's me. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? I'm a female. I be all up in the store.
I'm in the doctor's office or
at
the anywhere else. If I have to wait somewhere and a game is on,
you watch.
I click it on.
Yeah, I do. Especially as a team that I want to know. Like right now, I'm into watching the college World Series with the baseball. Of course.
The guys or the girls?
The boys.
Okay, I see the girls a little bit.
Yeah, the girls. Now they
I'm tripping off that picture. I'd be like, my rotator cuff would be gone.
I know, because you're right. The way they have to wind it up.
And they do it like it's nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
While we're on that, one of the other sports, I'm going to see if you tap into that, is hockey.
I just started, let me tell you, I went to a hockey game here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love only because my daughter was one of those not cheerleader, but one of the dancers for the hockey team.
Really?
So I was like, man, this is great because I'm like, not only do I get to see her, but I get to see the hockey actually in person. Loved it. Yeah. I just like the fight. Boom, you take your frustration.
You get to watch the game and the fight. All in one ticket.
First, I don't condone the fight, but it does make it interesting. It makes it interesting. You be like, yeah, there's a fight. You like a kid, there's a fight over there.
You're like, you're doing this.
And so you ain't gonna believe what they do. They actually put them in timeout. You fight, they break it up,
but first of all, they let you fight.
They let you fight.
And once it's over,
go to the penalty box. Yeah, and they sit in it's like a timeout. They sit in there, and I'm looking like, this is crazy. This is like but it's actually the action, the
it's a lot of energy in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, here's the thing I love about it. Not only for the energy in the fight, being intense. When they're tied, and they're going back and forth, and that goal, he's blocking it.
Mhm.
It gets so intense.
It's intense.
Just to the point, the team that you're rooting for, please do it.
Yeah.
And that happened with me when the Stars were in the Stanley Cup.
Mhm.
And so now I've watched Colorado and Tampa. Now, here's my thing. I'm going for Colorado. The reason why I'm going for
well, of
them,
course you would. You rather more northern than anyway.
Well,
See,
it's
you
not
right.
northern,
Right.
that's western.
You're right. You didn't come down
See,
with a little southern a little bit.
See what I'm dealing with? The reason why I go for Colorado, you're ready to really trip off
Okay.
this. I like their logo.
Okay, we need to talk. We'll talk about this.
To me, their
Because now I'm
logo.
gonna pick on you, like, did I get the right logo for you? You know, you're gonna like this because it's got the cool.
It's in Tampa Bay.
Tampa's got a cool logo.
Yeah, I like theirs.
I don't care what nobody
I like
says.
it.
Talk about that once. That's not
The
just.
star that
It just means everything.
And
Yeah.
don't let the jersey be green. To me, that's just so legit. That's so legit, man. You know. Yeah, money, star. But you see, the thing is, Tampa. I think Tampa done won twice.
Yeah, they did.
So Avalanche, to me, back in the day, they used to give the Stars a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have a hockey video game,
Oh, okay.
and so I play with the Stars.
Well, there's no wrong with
And the
that.
same thing. Avalanche give me a hard time. You know, I'm over here getting ticked off.
I've been like, okay.
But that is so intense.
But it's-
when the game is tied and they're going back and forth, you
just-
praying that other team don't. It's the puck that makes the win. The last puck.
I would say this, anybody that's watching, please, whatever you do, go to a hockey game just to see something a little, hey,
Mhm.
look,
Yeah, that little.
something like this small, that how they can get it and hit it.
And they're
just-
fighting over it.
And they fighting over it. It's just amazing to me. I mean, that you really got to be good to be
So
a hockey.
the ladies we have watching, you saying they should go see the hockey game. But now, ladies, remember, watch the game and not the guys. Because I see ladies, they more focused on the guys
Really?
than the game.
Oh, but see, I'm
But
so
yeah,
into sports, so I guess I don't pay,
Well, same thing with the Rangers.
And
'Cause
I don't know
working-
how they really, because they got so much gear, I don't know what you see.
They know who they are.
Oh, because they know who they are.
Yeah,
That
and
makes sense.
The other thing that was funny to me, the coworker I had at the school, she loves the Rangers, but
Mhm.
there were certain players.
Yeah.
This
Who
is
look
the same thing with
Yeah.
baseball, football, because she loved was it Randall Cobb?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm like,
But see, you know,
and then I made her mad. And I said, "Yeah, his wife is pretty." Hey, I did that on purpose.
I'm like, yeah, no.
Right,
So y'all
right.
looking at the opposite day. I see what you're saying.
So, but yeah, you're right. There's a lot of energy in the game.
Lots
You
of
got your
energy.
fights, and I'm gonna add on that it gets intense. And then
And
the
make sure you
logo.
take a jacket because it is cold. Depends on where you're sitting at.
But it's funny how you have a hockey team in Dallas.
Well, you know,
In the
that's what I
southern part.
like about Dallas. They got all sports. I even go to the AAA baseball game,
Okay,
you know, here.
okay.
Support the young men there,
Mhm.
but because we went there like, what the last holiday?
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thanks.
What was that? They just had Memorial Day? What's it? Yeah, Memorial Day.
The
It was Memorial Day, wasn't it?
Mhm.
I'm talking about that was the last holiday just passed, right?
right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I went there, saw the
Mhm.
fireworks and
Father's Day.
everything. It was nice.
She
I
didn't
love it.
even acknowledge
Oh.
that it was the last holiday. She skipped.
Was that a holiday or that just? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
No, no, don't try to get humble now. I'm sorry. I mean, just skip over Father's Day. Last holiday is what? Memorial Day, right? See.
I'm sorry. But yeah, we went there and we watched the fireworks. It was just a really nice.
Now, what
But-
was this? You said AAA?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. So if anybody, you know, like I say, Dallas got a lot to offer in the sport arena.
Mhm.
I just think people, it's just what you like.
Mhm.
But if you're just getting bored, they got a game somewhere. Now they got the 3D.
Yeah, the 3D.
That three. Not what's it called?
It's
Three. The big
The
three.
big three. The big three.
Yeah.
You're right. Big three.
You know, I haven't been to one of those.
I saw
I gotta
it.
go
I saw
for
it a couple times.
Did you like it?
It was pretty good. It was like 3-on-3 on street ball.
Oh, so we can be on the team and give us
No.
players.
Slow down. Slow down. These are former players.
I know, but we can still.
No.
Oh.
Former NBA players. Let me make that clear. Former NBA players. Okay? Not the three. I remember they used to have the 3-on-3 down at the West
We can be
End.
the independent team.
Somebody just hard headed right now.
And play against the forward team.
We need to play against the seniors. The seniors. Got the still we have the water boy. We'll have the icy hot boy.
Oh yeah,
Already.
now you're gonna need that.
But you know, they did have the 3-on-3. Hoop was called, I think it was Hoop It Up or something like that, and they had it at the West End.
Okay.
And then Ice Cube just took it to another level.
That's what I want to see. Ice Cube, they've been really doing a lot of promotion.
And they've been traveling.
Go try shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you something I saw very interesting. When I was the PE coach at Harvard Elementary, we had this game called Cat and Mouse, where we called it Tom and Jerry.
Right.
And so you had 4 cones and a ball on each corner.
Okay.
So you had teams to represent.
Okay.
And the object of the game, once we said we blow the whistle, they grab the ball. This person's trying to get this person to tag them out, and this person's trying to tag them out. So it's almost like a relay.
Oh, okay.
Now, but undercover, you actually seeing your future track stars.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Playing it.
Mhm.
Oh, that's amazing.
So they got to run top speed.
Right.
And so when they get to there, like green gets back to green, he puts it on the cone, the next person goes. Okay. So
That's
last year,
that sounds fun.
it was very competitive. So the last year I was there, the 5th graders, that's the one we always was waiting to see. That's where you
Because that's where the talent, see how fast they
Exactly.
are. Okay.
So these 2 girls, they were twins.
Uh-huh.
And what's funny, twins, but one is tall, one is like
Right.
here. So when they went, hey Becky, when they got the ball, these girls didn't play.
Really
So what I did, I knew the high school track coach I used to work with. So I would record them and then send it to them.
Right.
So he'll come back, who's this? And so I would tell him who it is. And so he said, oh yeah, I'm coaching their sister over here.
Right.
Now, the thing that was funny, one of the boys, a 5th grade boy, oh, I can beat her. I was talking about the tall one.
Right.
The tall one to me is Serena Williams. That's what she reminded me of. And that was
Really?
Venus.
It was Venus. So you saw it.
So he goes, she can't beat me. It's okay. So I fixed it where
Right.
they would go again. She got him out so quick because when she ran, she would smile. She was
Right.
very intense. So, Mr. Hill, that was my best friend, co-worker, but he passed away. And he was already getting ready to form them before he passed away.
Oh, okay.
And when I found out he was on a track team this summer, and I asked her mother, let me know when they're next meet. So they were in Allen.
Oh, okay.
And so I went over there. I was like, you see all these tents. I said, none of the people are going to be here all day.
Okay.
You see the tent?
Right.
So I saw the girls. Matter of fact, I went over to one section. A lot of the kids that I was over, they were all there. So they got ready to do the 220, the relay, I'm sorry. They had her, the tall one, had her first, and baby girl like the 3rd.
In the relay.
In the relay.
Okay.
When she took off, she was already like almost a mile away.
Wow.
And I was like,
so you see your future stars. So hopefully they'll go to Texas A&M. Got great girls.
because even when she was in 5th grade, he had her go up against 9th graders, 9th and 10th graders.
Wow.
And she was either, she beat a couple or she did barely get them.
So what grade they in now?
They're in 7th now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Got a bright future. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
even baby girl takes off. And I was even telling, I said, man, y'all got faster since the last time I've seen you and stronger,
Right.
you know. And so when I track meets, that's another thing I love to see, you know, whether it's elementary all the way up to college or Olympics,
Right.
you know. And so it's just something about track. Because when I ran track, I did the 220, I did the long jump and the high jump. And so they did the 100. So I'm like, you also could see some future football players out there too. You have football players on track. So, but like you just said, I'm adding on to what you're saying because Texas has a lot of variety of different sports.
They do. They got a lot. It's just people that love sports, they got choice. You know, and those that don't, you still got a lot of choices here.
Yeah, you can take them watch the horses.
Is that right? There's a lot that you can really do here in Dallas. I do like that.
Car racing, I can get into that.
I've been to a lot of car races.
Really?
Yes.
What's your take on it?
I love it. To me, the toughest sport is that.
Really?
Yes, because those cars are going like zoom. You're like, wait a minute. You seeing it in person is unbelievable. You're like, it's no way that they can drive these cars that fast. I have nothing but so much respect. Actually, Jeff Gordon was one of my favorites. I love Jeff Gordon. Loved it. Yeah. And then I also like his father had passed away at the Daytona 500. I love his son. I met him in person.
Okay.
You know, actually, he was at an event doing a charity in Philadelphia. Absolutely love. I can't think of his name now, but
Earnhardt,
but I'm trying to think of his son's name. But his son just retired.
He just retired, yeah.
But I much respect for it. That's something I think people should see in person.
What about golf?
I love golf too.
Okay.
I like it all.
Yeah.
I mean, I just.
Told you. Didn't I tell you? Sports for that.
And if you got a kid that can play golf, it's the most, rewarding sport. And I also, what I loved about it, my daughter used to play for the junior LPGA, PA, whatever, what they call PGA, whatever, and in Atlanta. And it just make you love the sport. So I've just been introduced to a lot of sports things, and since I just became addicted. That's how I became into a lot of, loving.
Because my speed coach, my other coworker, she was a professional golfer with the LGPA.
I know, it's like,
I know, right?
Yeah.
And so we had went, not with her, but me and Roz were kids. We went to Top Golf. And so they were like,
oh yeah, well that here, okay.
So we were playing, and they were like, man, Thomas, how you hit that ball? I beat them. So they're like, you cheat, you come out here, you probably practice. I said, actually, what I was doing while they were playing,
right.
I was texting Amy.
Trying to imagine your phone.
I sent her a video. What do you think about this? She said, angle this. And she said,
right.
So I go back and do it.
Because it comes with a lot of, you got to know a little math, like, how to. I don't know. I got a lot of respect for golfers because for them to hit the ball and I watch golf. Do you watch golf? Yeah, I love watching golf. It's therapeutic. It's like watching it, get your blanket, some peanuts, sleep. I don't know which one.
I do the golf. I do, and I do the tennis. But I like the women tennis better.
I know the women are so excited to watch.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. Men go by fast. It's like boom, boom, bam, it's over. But the women, they is like, hey, we here to compete.
But what's funny to me when I hear it's even with the men, it's funny to me to hear them grunt.
I know, because you're like, what's that? But I get it because you're trying. Yeah.
I'll be like, dang, you gonna bust the ball or something? What's up? So, but now we got the NBA draft out of the way. I think we did get NFL draft out of the way. So NFL's around the corner.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna be interesting. Now I'm gonna bring up this, and I'm gonna see her not only your opinion, but I want to see her face expression. Okay. My man Zeke, I feel if he don't produce this year,
leave Zeke alone. Just leave. You think he'll be gone?
I like Zeke. Don't get me wrong. I do like Zeke. I think he's gonna be a goner, just like Cooper.
But my thing is that, but why? To me, I don't think it. I put it like this. Jerry gave him all this money, right?
Yeah.
And so the minute he does, some people go, he should have paid out. Let's take all the money they got.
You notice, I didn't say anything about the money.
But I'm just saying,
people have to doing that.
But that's what fans do. The first thing they go, they should have never paid him all this money.
But see, if you want to go money wise, I'm gonna go business wise.
Yeah, you're looking at business.
Because if you got a backup that's doing better than a starter.
Well, I always keep in mind too. Anytime you play sports,
yeah, I understand.
And the only reason why I'm not throwing him under the bus because it takes a team. It ain't just, and then it also takes chemistry, But I do get how people feel about Zeke. What's his name? Had a heck of a game, running back game.
The backup.
The backup.
Yeah.
He had
not Barber.
Pollard was just like you wanted to see more earning, and but I did like how they kind of broke it up a little bit.
But I started coming to Zeke's defense because Zeke was still playing hurt because he got hurt, and a lot of people didn't know that. But
here's the thing about Zeke that people don't understand. That's why I said unless you know the sport, and I'm gonna make that real clear. No football. Yeah, I may be a female, but I know what I'm watching, and people don't understand that. He's more than a running back. See, people don't know he's blocking.
He's blocking.
He is
receiving.
he's like one of the best blockers. And you'll hear some of the commentators will say that, but people ain't looking at that.
Said that.
People don't look at that because they just know him just running by because that's what they're watching. So I get that. So you have to look at everything.
And that's why I said on the rushing part, his numbers have to get him. But you know what? You know what? Even to be honest with you, I still have to give him his props because even though he may not have the running yardage that most of the running backs had, to me, if you still bust 1,000, that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
But like you said, he's not only rushing, he's blocking, he's also sometimes receiving.
And another thing, what people also have to understand, the reason why Zeke had a good year, especially coming in, they didn't know how to play Zeke at that time. Organizations, but then they had his number that next year. It's like, okay, this is what we do to stop it.
We know Dez caught the ball.
and so that allowed Dak got to, had to throw more because they started having Zeke number.
Mm-hmm.
And
they started putting more in the box.
Right.
Exactly.
So, but I do understand what you mean on the business point that he got to improve his numbers, a little bit.
Because I'm a huge Zeke fan. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with what you just said too. When they start stacking the box, then you gotta look at it too. Our offensive line wasn't up to par healthy as well.
And then too, the reason why Pollard had a great season because they didn't know how to play him.
Exactly.
But come this year, watch and see. Now they got it. Yeah, they're gonna stop all of that.
But to me, it's a greater force when you have both of them. Just like when they had Herschel Walker and Tony Dorsett, but they didn't know how to work with that. But they did better with Pollard and
They
Zeke.
did. I thought it was good because Zeke more of a straight on running back, Pollard more of an outside, running back. And I just love it because Zeke wear you down because he's going straight, straight to you. And but I do understand how fans can feel like, hey, me personally, when it comes to Dallas Cowboys, I don't like pointing finger at anybody really, because it's a team sport. You just want them to jive, get the chemistry.
She said bring back D later this season. I don't think I want Dez. I don't think I want Dez right now.
I like Dez. I love Dez too. Yeah.
Dez is older now.
He's older
and
now.
I don't think he had that same burst as he used to.
Well, no, we'll give him a try, right?
What, he's 38 years old?
Hey. The older the better.
And I was, to be honest with you, I was a huge Dez fan. I was disappointed they let go of Cooper. I know why they did.
That hurt me when they let go of Cooper because of the simple fact, I didn't see it coming for one, even though
it was a surprise.
It was a surprise to me,
I can understand why they did it. Because when you got CeeDee Lamb, once again, you got your number 2 coming in being better than your number 1.
Yeah.
Why am I paying number 1 all this money? Then your number 3, I think, was Gallup, but he was out hurt. And there was another guy, Wilson. So you had other guys.
So you got a lot of.
They had depth, right?
Yeah.
And so
I was just surprised. I really loved.
I'm hoping Zeke does have a better year this year.
I hope so too. I just hope they all have a better year because I get so tired. I mean, it's so funny. I don't have a team. Listen, anybody's watching me. I love all teams, so I can have something to go back when they say this. I can say that about their team. So, however, I'm in Dallas, I'm to support the home team. That's just the way.
Well, the new receiver they have, they say he's almost like a carbon copy of CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So if he's a carbon copy, he may be a number 3 or number 2.
I just thought they did really good this year. I just was so hurt. They had a really good thing going, into and it just kind of, as usual.
Now, here's the other question.
Okay.
We're not the players this time.
Okay.
McCarthy. A lot of people think McCarthy may be out the door and they want Sean Payton to step in.
But it didn't happen. So what happened?
After the season.
Oh, so you think it's still a
because if Sean is still available, and let's say they do let him go.
Yeah. I could see that happening.
See that? Don't be knocking an old man. He's talking about Dez.
That's right. Get on him about Dez. That's right.
I like Zeke, but I want to see better this year.
I understand.
Basically, I'm ready for some football too. Yeah,
we are ready for that football.
Don't you team up with somebody on here? You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I put that with, what's the name?
This is Sandra.
Sandra
Lynn. That's a coworker of mine.
Oh, no.
She
I love her already. I know. Yeah, thank you.
Let me go ahead and end this.
But she's right. She has a good point. I mean.
And trust me, man, I am still a diehard Dez fan. And I didn't like how the Cowboys did him.
Yeah.
But then.
But he have a really, he has still today have a strong connection with Jerry. Yeah, I mean, did you see the last time they was in the back?
Brought him back.
Well, it's something behind that for him not to want to bring back, but they showed him like behind scenes.
Mm-hmm.
He actually waited on Jerry back. I'm like, is he coming back? But yeah.
But him and Dak been working out.
Yeah, so he's still around, believe it or not.
Somewhere
and
around.
he be at the games, with Jerry. Sitting in the booth, I'm like, I'm
he tweets like crazy about Cowboys.
He loves
the Cowboys.
He loves CD Lamb too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So man, trying to think. I think we covered just about everything today.
Yeah.
So, man, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Tasha, Sandra, who else? Now we can put Sandra down here. Tuning up on me. Becky and Brittany, Christy. Thank y'all for tuning in.
And Becky, that was my grandmother's name. Becky.
Becky.
Latasha.
And I tell you, like I said, my sports fanatic here. I'm working on a radio name for her. I think we had one, but I'm gonna let her.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta get you a radio name dealing with sports, because you had said a name one time. I was trying to connect it with sports, and I was like, nah, that don't sound right. I said, okay, whatever. Because I'm telling y'all, sometime in our group text, we get so involved in our group text, I had to say, wait a minute. I'm waiting for the show. Save it for the show.
Yeah.
And so when I saw her today, she had a Blue Jays on, and I was like, we're here to talk sports. Just a whole hour of sports. You like boxing too?
I like it all.
What about UFC?
I can't. You know what? I'm trying. But there's a lot of excitement in it.
Mm-hmm.
People love it, so I got to really.
See the women?
I really can't do the women.
Really?
No, I don't like seeing women just body slamming.
I got to go back to the hood days when we played.
Yeah, But hey, I know a lot of people love it, so that's the most.
It used to be illegal. Yeah. And then they made it legal, and then like you see it on the paper.
But I try to get into all of it because I just love, like, I'm dying to get home to watch. I told the College World Series,
That's today, right?
Yeah, every day to somebody, win that title. So I'm just
But didn't Texas and AM play against each other?
Texas lost. Texas A&M kept going. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I want to say Texas A&M played Ole Miss 1 or 2. I'm a big SEC opponent, so I'll be watching that today. So I'm just ready for college football too.
I'm with you. Well, once again, we thank everybody for tuning in. I thank my sister, my friend, my girl, my sports fanatic, my sports partner. Let's look at that. I thank her for not only being on the team, but just allowing us to just sit back and just talk sport. See, all we needed was a hot dog and some chips or something.
And I want to thank them for at least watching us. Thank you all so much.
And your input.
Especially, what's her name? Shonda?
Oh, Sandra
I'm
Lynn.
going to say Miss Lynn, I love you. She say, Dad's caught it.
She going to get me, man, when I get back to work.
I like that. Yeah.
I'm missing all my McKinney.
Oh, she's got an 88.
yeah, just showing that over there.
Don't get me wrong.
Just showing that.
Don't get me wrong, I like Z, but I understand it. Okay, I'm ready for some football.
So, she said, love you too, girl. Oh, here we go.
That's what I'm talking about. It's good to hear other women's opinions. Because we speak the truth. We speak what we see.
That say Jerome in the house. I say
Jerome in the house.
I say Jerome.
You're right. That is right.
You're a poet and you know it. People have the reunion.
I know. They're having a reunion. Actually, I saw some of them, next week or something? I got to watch this.
I got to check it out. Well, we're trying to go, but had a good time today. Mission Roz and Jay Rudd, they'll be back next round. So thank y'all for tuning in.
Me too. I like Miss Lynn.
Boy, I tell you, so much love. So much love. So grab somebody by the hand. If you can't find anybody, grab by the hand. Look in the mirror and say, you know what? Somebody's going to be blessed. Might as well be me. Might as well be you. Might as well be us. We'll see you next time. Love you.